In a world that's obsessed with instant results, shortcuts, and easy wins, there are those who choose a different path. A harder path. A path carved not in comfort, but in grit. This is the rise of raw power, not polished, not pretty, but real. This is for the ones who came from nothing. The ones who built their strength in silence. The ones whose gym was the streets, whose weights were burdens, and whose fuel was the fire burning inside. These warriors weren't born strong, they were broken, then rebuilt. Over and over again. They didn't chase likes or clout. They chased growth. They chased pain. They chased purpose. Because they knew that every rep, every drop of sweat, every moment of struggle was shaping them into something unbreakable. Something untamed. This isn't about six-packs and selfies. This is about power. Inner power. The kind that shows in your eyes before your body. The kind that can't be faked, bought, or borrowed. It's earned, day after day, in the shadows, with blood on your knuckles and calluses on your hands. You see, strength doesn't come from winning. It comes from being knocked down and rising anyway. It comes from loss. From setbacks. From failure after failure that refused to define you. It comes from that voice in your head that screams, "You're not done yet," even when everything in your body wants to quit. This is for the underdogs. The outsiders. The raw and rugged souls who rise not because the world handed them a chance, but because they forged their own. Look at your scars. Those are your medals. Look at your pain. That's your blueprint. Look at your grind. That's your story. You're not just building muscle, you're building legacy. One that doesn't need validation. One that doesn't beg for attention. One that stands tall, silent, and solid. Every time you step into the gym, you're not just lifting weights, you're lifting trauma. Lifting rejection. Lifting pressure. And turning it all into power. The iron doesn't lie. It doesn't judge. It doesn't care who you are. It respects effort, commitment, and heart. And those who rise with it, they rise raw. They rise real. They rise relentless. They are the iron roots. Planted deep. Unshakable. They don't bloom for the world. They grow for themselves. For what they've survived. For what they've built in the darkness. The rise of raw power isn't a trend, it's a revolution. A rebellion against weakness. A battle cry against mediocrity. And you are part of it. You are the pain that turned into power. You are the doubt that evolved into belief. You are the storm that chose to roar instead of retreat. So remember this. The world may not understand your grind, your hunger, your madness, but that's not your concern. You don't need them to understand. You need them to watch. Watch you grow. Watch you rise. Watch you lead. Because this is your time. This is your legacy. This is your rise. This is Iron Roots. Not just a phrase. Not just a tagline. This is a declaration. A way of life. A movement forged in the grind, the pain, and the triumph. Iron Roots is a symbol of where you came from, who you became, and the fire that will never stop burning inside you. Iron roots are deep. Deeper than doubt. Deeper than fear. Deeper than any weakness that's ever tried to hold you back. These roots were planted the day you chose to fight. The day you refused to settle. The moment you said, "I want more, and I will become more." You weren't born into power. You earned it. Through every failure. Every sleepless night. Every moment where your body screamed stop, but your soul whispered, "Keep going." Because iron roots don't grow in comfort. They grow in chaos. They grow in resistance. They grow when everything is stacked against you, and still you rise. It's waking up before the sun, not because you have to, but because greatness doesn't sleep. It's training while the world rests. Grinding while others make excuses. And bleeding for something that most will never understand. You don't do this for attention. You do this for transformation. You don't seek validation. You seek evolution. You don't crave applause. You crave progress. Iron roots are built by warriors. Real ones. The kind who've been through hell, and chose to rise stronger instead of bitter. The kind who know the power of staying silent while the world talks, staying grounded while others chase illusion. It's not about having the best gym, the best genetics, or the best gear. It's about heart. It's about hustle. It's about those moments when no one's watching, and you push anyway, because you owe it to the person you're becoming. Your roots, they anchor you. They remind you where you started. They remind you of the pain, the hunger, the tears. But they also remind you of the power that came from all of it. The savage strength you built from nothing. The warrior mindset that can't be shaken. And now, you walk differently. Not because of arrogance, but because you've carried weight that others can't see. You've endured storms that most would run from. And still, you show up. Still, you rise. People may see your muscle. They may see the beard, the body, the grind, but they don't see the battles. They don't see the demons you had to silence. The limits you had to smash. The identity you had to shed and rebuild. And that's fine, because your story isn't for everyone. It's for the chosen few. The ones who live for challenge. Who thrive in the chaos. Who feel most alive when their back's against the wall. A blood oath to keep fighting. A spiritual contract with greatness.